session. Can the USA get another point? Look at that, still more blue on the board than red on day 2 here at the Weber Cup in South Yorkshire. Let's head off to our commentators for the final game of the afternoon session, Cass Edwards and Simon Golding.
Thanks, Tony. Well, we said it was going to be an intriguing session, and it's worked out exactly that way. Palermaa and Barrett, the rock-solid European pairing, to take on Parker Bohn III, who has shown some signs of finding his form here at this Weber Cup, but up against a man that remains in trouble. And Bill O'Neill just going through the last practice motions before we get this match underway. That's why all the players are up there on stage. This is a good opportunity just to see how your ball is reacting on the oil pattern, which is the 3rd time we've bowled on this new dressing of oil, the sabre pattern that goes down to 37 feet. It's also an opportunity, though, to talk with your teammates, something that isn't often presented in what is generally an individual sport, Cass.
Yeah, you're quite right, Simon. And of course, the guys up on the lane will stand behind, for example, Oscar here, who's just taken his last practice shot, and they will look at the line he's bowling, and if they've got a comment to make, they'll certainly pass it on. And that's real teamwork.
More often than not, it's just a confirmation that the ball and the bowling line that they've picked for this particular pattern is still working. It looks like a pretty new ball, though, for Parker Bohn, so potentially a change for him, although he did play very well in his singles victory over Stu Williams earlier today.
Well, he'll have the opportunity to shoot some strikes, but it is a doubles tournament, and if Bill O'Neill doesn't strike, then Parker could be sitting down taking spares quite often.
It all changes again, doesn't it? So for those of you that have just joined us, Cass, tell us about the Scotch doubles.
Well, yeah, obviously it's a doubles, and the lead-off man, if he doesn't strike, will bowl the lead-off ball in the 2nd frame. But once they strike, the combination changes. So if Dom leads and gets a strike, Oscar will be the next man to stand up and lead for the European side. Likewise for the Americans.
So just about ready to go then with game 12, the final game of this afternoon session, and so far it's been a good session for Europe. USA, though, just living off bits and pieces at the moment, but ominously for the European team, both TJ and Parker Bohn III looking like they're finding some form. May well dictate how things go in the evening session, although one point that we have to make, Cass, is that the oil pattern will change again this evening.
It certainly will, and session 3, it will be up to Don Barrett, the European captain, will select the oiling pattern, which will be most suitable to him and his team players.
And he's got to go back to 39, 40 feet, hasn't he?
I've got a feeling he's going to go back to the same pattern that was in session 1 when Europe did so well. And yes, it was 40 feet of oil, 20 feet of dry back end.
Big round of applause then for the former European captain, Oscar Palermaa, replaced by Mika Koivuniemi, not just as captain but replaced in the squad. He was dropped for a couple of years, but he's back with a vengeance. He's bowling quite beautifully. No surprise to see him leading this off. And drives it into the pocket with some venom. All 10 down for a great start.
Yes, the unique two-handed style of Oscar Palermaa absolutely rips the rack. Lots of pace, lots of speed, lots of rotation on the ball, and lots of action in that 1-3 pocket. So it's catch-up time already, and Team USA haven't even bowled a ball.
Something unique about Parker, only left-hander at the Weber Cup, and leaves the left-hander's scourge, that corner 7.
So Parker doesn't strike, which means that Bill O'Neill has to stand up and spare what Parker Bohn has left, which is that corner 7 pin. There shouldn't be too much trouble for Bill. Only a harder surfaced urethane ball. Keeps it nice and straight. Tries to cut down any hook or any potential error. Takes the spare away nicely.
So Barrett gets his shot at a strike ball immediately. Again, he won't rush. He's got a very nice steady process, rather like Tommy Jones. His build up to the throw, and it takes a considerable amount of mental toughness. Not easy to delay the process and make sure you keep going at the same pace. A lot of players will rush into things under pressure. So second ball for Europe. No, through the head pin, and doesn't quite tickle the 10 over, so that leaves the 3-6-10.
Yeah, 3-6-10 pins in the right-hand side of the lane for Osku to spare. Very reactive ball here that Dom's using, especially as they're playing on the burn. It's the third game on this lane dressing, and so consequently the ball's moved around and there's a lot more hooking potential. He's certainly got an overreaction in the back end there. This is hard and fast for Osku Palermaa, one-handed, almost 100 miles an hour, which is a characteristic of his spare bowling. Takes away nicely.
He's a serious talent, is Osku Palermaa. Current and former captains then sitting together in the blue shirts. And the debutant bowling for the USA here at Weber Cup 16, Parker Bohn. So left the 7 last time out. And we need to make a slight adjustment here. Gets into the pocket superbly this time around.
Yeah, using the full width of the lane, gets outside that rangefinder down lane. Gets a reaction in the back end, carries all 10. So next time up it will be Bill O'Neill shooting at the 10 pins for USA.
10 pins in it then as we go into frame 3. Dominic Barrett has to step up because he missed the strike last time out. The 30-year-old captain of Europe, not the youngest captain. That title belongs to Palermaa. And that'll do nicely.
An obvious change of line there for Dom Barrett. Used the full width, got right outside that rangefinder, out to about the 3rd or 4th board from the channel. Reaction in the back end and carries all 10 in the pocket.
Big pressure then on Bill O'Neill. New ball for Bill O'Neill. Is it a new start at Weber Cup 16?
Well, he certainly hopes so. If a man needs strikes right now, it's Bill O'Neill. And as you say, it's a different ball, and thank you so much. It means a lot to him. I'm sure it means a lot to team captain as well, and Parker Bohn, who's playing with him.
So a double for Team USA, which, as we always say, in these team and double format matches is like gold dust. 31-year-old Finn then, currently based in Gothenburg now. Osku Palermaa. No, he doesn't like it, goes Brooklyn. You can get a strike from that pocket entry over on the 1-2 pins, but not this time.
Just didn't get the width, did he? Well inside his mark, and look at the hook on that ball. Left-hand side of the head pin, breaks nothing up. Leaves the 3 and the 9-pin sleeper spare for Barrett to convert.
A pesky sleeper, not as easy as it looks.
And again, still with his high hooking ball, he's got to cover that back pin. Does it nicely. Great shot from the pin deck camera there. There's the ball hooking up nicely, throwing those pins away.
Score plummets though for Europe to a potential 260 maximum. As Parker Bohn steps up, looking to turn this into a turkey, 3 in a row.
Well, it would certainly do the lad's confidence good if he could get another strike here.
No, it's the 7 again. Pretty solid one as well.
Yeah, it's just the angle the ball comes in behind the head pin. Actually on the slow motion, the 4 pin, second from the left. Jumps right round that 7 pin, doesn't it? I like to think he would hit it on the way, and there's the disappointment on his face. So it can only be a spare for O'Neill.
Takes it to maintain the advantage.
But it was just a slim advantage, just the 9 pins. They both struck out. And already we're coming up to the halfway stage, frame number 5. Oscar Palermo steps up. He'll be shooting the first ball.
Don Barrett was having a laugh with our presenter Laura earlier today about cliches. Here's another one. Anything can still happen in this game. And that is right on time from Oscar Palermo.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he hit the pocket.
You couldn't resist, could you, Cass?
Just had to get there, didn't I? Great looking shot. Yeah, it's a strike. Give Barrett a chance to double it up in the next frame.
Well, the US point makes this evening's session just that little bit more tantalising. In terms of another European point, well, they will charge into this evening's session, heads held high, chest puffed out, marching towards the 17, and he'll take that. He'll take that.
I think anybody will take that one. Parker sees the funny side of it way outside. Look, just makes the head pin, and there's 4 or 5 pins standing over there on the right side. And that 9 pin just gets mugged. Look at this, it's still standing. It's been hit 3 or 4 times, and eventually gives up the ghost and shouts timber. He still can't dance, but he can knock some strikes down.
The shimmy does the business. Well, that hurts when you're just about to get out your chair and thinking, okay, maybe there's a spare been left by your opponent, and that goes over. Pressure's back on Barrett, but it looks pretty relaxed and finds the pocket quite superbly. That's a brilliant delivery from the European captain.
Yeah, it certainly was. Just when they needed the double, Barrett steps up and rips the rack after Palermo's strike, and that's 2 strikes, 5 and 6. It's the first double they've got.
And he's got the cherry out. New ball for Bill O'Neill, did the trick last time, but I have to say it, Cass, Team Europe keep putting this man in some horrible pressure situations. Here's another one.
Yeah, they keep hammering him.
Through the head pin, it was always light. He was going to need a bit of luck on the carry, just like Bohn on that last shot, but didn't get it.
Yeah, just needed the ball to carry on another few inches on that oil. Not that there's very much down there. And the head pin just leaves the 4 pin standing. Disappointment on his face. It was a chance to make the double for Team USA and advance their lead, but it won't be. So Parker to spare.
Job done. He knows there's still a ways to go here.
Well, job done on the spare, but this is a chance for Team Europe now with Palermo working 2 strikes. If he can slide another one here, make turkey, it will all be looking good for Team Europe with just 3 frames to go.
So this is the man that has no real option. He has to throw this hard because he's got to drive through that dry back end to the lane. He has to take things incredibly wide. He's going for power, and power delivers. A little bit sluggish on the 10, but it'll do.
Just an unbelievable strike. See what happens to these pins as this ball goes into the pocket. He's thrown it hard and wide. It just comes back and absolutely rips the rack. It's 3 strikes in a row for the Europeans, and that was probably the match winner from Oscar Palermo.
O'Neill. Good strike from him. And there's no doubt about it, he's got to do a job for his team at some point in the Weber Cup 16. He knows that. So he has to keep the faith, he has to keep working, and he has to find something that scores for him on this lane. So 3 up from Palermo and Barrett. Don Barrett steps up looking for the 4-bagger.
Yeah, if they can keep striking, they're making 30 pins every frame, whereas the Americans are going strike spare, which is only 20 pins a frame. And you can see there the 21 pins difference already, with the Europeans working on 3 strikes in a row, looking for a fourth.
And they get a fourth, courtesy of Captain Fantastic.
Yeah, they're enjoying themselves, these two. They played recently in Vienna in a tournament just prior to this this event. The whole European squad were out there talking tactics and how it was going to go, and at the moment it's really going their way, as is this game. Look at that. 4 really nice strikes in a row.
Strike or nothing for Parker Bohn. That's the situation that Team USA find themselves in yet again here in Barnsley. And he does it. Good strike, good emotion from the 52-year-old.
Great looking shot here, the whole width of the lane, the left-hand side. Fraction light on the pocket, but he's carried all 10. 2 strikes in a row for the Americans, and it's Bill O'Neill who will be stepping up next to try and make that elusive turkey 3 in a row.
But what it does is it just pops a little bit of pressure back to the Blues. Palermaa doesn't hit this strike, you'll see what difference that makes to the scorecard. At the moment it looks healthy. And another strike puts them in the hot seat. Oh no, it doesn't go. His second Brooklyn of the game, which means he's gone in on the 1-2 pocket instead of the 1-3 pocket, but it doesn't happen.
It's not a good shot, it's nowhere near the pocket. He's fortunate, but the 10-pin almost went over. The pin spotter came down and grabbed it quickly. But it was
the difference to the scores.
I was going to say, yeah, not the greatest shot, and Team Europe slide behind if Bill O'Neill can strike. Barrett's still got to spare this one.
O'Neill looking around nervously in the background. He knows he's the next man in the hot seat. Tentative look after that. They make them look so routine, the spares, but we've already seen a few corner pins missed here at the Weber Cup.
It's the foundation frame for Team USA. It's Bill O'Neill standing up, and he really must strike here. They need 3 in a row just to maintain this 10-pin lead going into the last frame of this game.
Well, if you thought the last 2 balls were pressure, forget it. This is the one. He's made it. No, he hasn't made it. He got to the pocket, but again it was light. And they dance around and leave him a single pin.
Just didn't have the drive. Right at the as the ball sets up for the pocket hit, just hurried on, didn't it? Look, there's the 2 and the 8 sleeper standing there. The 8-pin's gone. There's the 2-pin. Oh, not the best shot in the world. He was looking for a strike, and well, he can't believe it.
The score takes another pounding. Slides the spare out. Little ooh and an ah from the crowd, but Bohn didn't look worried.
It's an 11-pin lead going into the last frame, and it's Palermaa to stand up. Pins in the 10th frame would be enough.
Couldn't find his polishing rag for a moment there, but he's got it now.
Yeah, just wiping off some of the oil residue that's been picked up by the very soft bowling balls that they use nowadays. Big ball for Palermaa.
Brooklyn again, and once more the same result. No strike, single pin left, and we are heading for a very tight finish here.
Absolutely tight, yeah. Single pin left for Barrett to spare.
We haven't had any real close ones at Weber Cup 16, Cass, but this could be the first one that goes down to the wire.
Spare a strike for Europe is 228, which means USA will have to strike out 3 strikes in the last frame.
Barrett throws the strike just.
Well, he kept it straight, didn't he? It was almost a bit too straight, but got the direction finder. Lerner will stand up, shoot the last ball. 10th frame, it's the bonus ball.
He's got to hit it. He has got to hit this strike. And look at Parker Bohn, been there, done it. and still managing to have a smile on his face as we go down the stretch. This is going to be very, very tough for the Americans. If this man hits his strike, then Cass, they've got to be perfect to win it, or to get to a roll-off even.
Yeah, that's right. They've got to strike 3 times between them.
It's a strike. He's finally found the pocket just when he needs it. And now the Americans must not miss. And that's just to force a roll-off in this game. We are going all the way.
It's quite simple. Bill O'Neill has to strike on this ball. If he does, Parker Bohn has to strike on the second shot, and if he does, Bill O'Neill has to strike on the third.
He's left the 10, the point is Europe's, and he doesn't force the issue. And that's how important those last few balls were from Team Europe.
Yeah, Bill's face tells the whole story. Very unfortunate. It was a very good shot in the pocket, and it rang the 10 pin in the corner.
Well, that's going to hurt, no doubt about it. Team USA put up a really good fight in this Scotch doubles. But the final match of the afternoon session is not going to go their way. And this quite phenomenal start to Weber Cup 16 by Team Europe just gets better and better. Don Barrett and Oscar Palermaa bring it home. 2:28 plays 2:16. It's another bit of blue on the leaderboard. Europe lead 9-3 as we head into the break. More to come.